When a video game releases on a yearly basis, it's easy to assume that each version has taken 12 months to create. The fact is though that each version is an iteration, slowly building on predecessor foundations. This year's WRC title may be the latest official game of the FIA World Rally Championship, arriving just 1 year on from 2021's WRC 10, but really this is a culmination of 8 years' hard work. It also marks the end for Parisian developer Kylotton's involvement within the series, before the rights to make licensed rally games moves elsewhere for next season. To mark the occasion and the introduction of the new Rally 1 hybrid-powered cars used in the real world, the studio has thrown the kitchen sink at the project, building in several rallies and classic cars from prior titles, adding a new league system and launching later in the year to polish the product further. Hence, instead of being called WRC 11, it's bestowed with the WRC Generations moniker, representing classic content sitting alongside the latest gravel-spewing beasts. The question is though, has it created a platform worthy of rallying's pinnacle? On paper, it's a resounding yes. There are 85 vehicles, 165 stages, cross-platform online leaderboards and livery creations, plus more game modes than Oit Tanak has trophies. Hands down, the most feature-rich rally game of all time, even if it doesn't feature VR for the PC-based hardcore. To sit alongside the vast swathes of options, the visuals have been given a suitable uplift too, with uprated shaders, enhanced lighting, and on the all-new Swedish routes in particular, detailed stage-side furniture. From spectator fires to imposing Scandinavian red buildings, and even an in-car map light during nighttime competition. The result is very much dependent on the platform you're playing on. We cannot account for how it looks and runs on an Xbox One or PlayStation 4, but on a contemporary PC, PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X, there's a noticeable increase in fidelity compared with recent series entries. It must be noted, however, that older returning venues such as Corsica from WRC 8, while updated, clearly still look and feel a little bit behind the pace. Strangely, 120Hz mode has been removed on console this year too. But you could have the highest volume of stage miles ever, but if the dynamics aren't up to snuff, the game's longevity will be more akin to Sébastien Chardonnay's career, as opposed to Sébastien Loeb's. As you traverse the snow, gravel, mud and asphalt of the game's many varied locations, while accessible with a gamepad, a steering wheel peripheral is clearly the best way of experiencing Generations. Using a high-end Fanatec device, the feedback is solid, relaying the nuances of a gravel surface back to the driver. There can be a tad more understeer upon corner entry this time around, so a quick little shimmy in the braking zone may be required to turn in effectively. On corner exits there can be more oversteer though too, so balancing these characteristics does require some adjustment. Handbraking around a hairpin is now noticeably trickier, and braking zones feel longer than Heathrow's runway. A contributing factor, however, is the additional electrical boost delivered by this new top class of rally weapon. The hybrid system can mean you spin up the tyres when leaving a tight corner, resulting in a spin for the unwary. The impact and longevity of the volts is selectable pre-stage across one of 3 setups, aka maps, much like in the real world. However, while switching between them for each stage layout will undoubtedly be what esports level drivers tinker with, most of the time leaving it in the middle balance setting will suffice. Once acclimatised, you can find a pleasurable rhythm where it's just you and your co-driver floating through a stage, artfully transitioning from one corner to the next, finally balancing the weight transfer. Glorious. Not perfect though. We found that switching to a lower-end Logitech wheel delivered strange force feedback characteristics, lacking in consistency when directly compared to WRC 10. The effect is very much dependent on specific device optimization, something we hope is smoothed out post-release. The way your car impacts terra firma after a big jump could do with some refinement too, sometimes feeling as if there's little or no damping as you unceremoniously crash land before awkwardly visiting the nearest ditch. Still, it could be worse. It could be the engine sounds. I'm convinced that the noise emanating from under the bonnet of the Skoda Fabia Rally 2 is a recording of a food blender. While something like the Lancia Delta Integrale has the guttural noise you'd expect from a tuned twin cam, most of the modern vehicles lack the eardrum-splitting concoction of revs, gear shifts, pops and bangs you experience when spectating in a Finnish forest. It's been the Achilles heel, or should that be flailing Pirelli, of KT Racing since the beginning, and while there have been signs of improvements, the audio remains lackluster.
Over crest, left 5, long. Into right 5 and left 5 short, into right 5 short, narrows.
On a similar theme, one element that remains remarkably similar is the career mode, which data shows is where over 50% of played stages are completed. Car and team development skill trees remain, only this time they're mildly expanded. Promising results unlock further tokens and cash to spend. In between main events, there's the familiar mix of testing, practice, upgrades, and optional historic events. Other yearly motorsport titles, such as F122's My Team, are deeper, and really this mode is only mildly updated since its 2019 introduction, but it offers enough to hold your attention. With several rallies from prior games returning, of course, these extra events don't feature in the main career apart from the sideshow challenges. This is where the plethora of online options comes in handy. The pioneering online co-driver mode returns, alongside plain online competition. Clubs, which were added to last year's title via an update, allow you to compete in customised network-connected championships. The new league system aims to combine all the varied stages and cars with daily and weekly events. Your times will be turned into scores, and then you are placed within ranked leaderboards with those of a similar experience level. It's like iRacing's split system or Gran Turismo 7 Sport mode, but based on the stopwatch. During the pre-release review period, it did provide a competitive relief from career grinding, but the acid test will be if the community takes to it over time. WRC Generations takes all the good bits from the past 6 forebearers, adds in the latest machines alongside a sprinkling of new gameplay features, and calls it a day. The team has pulled off an engrossing rally video game with aplomb. While the fundamental pros and cons of the KT Racing platform were always going to remain present, its unswerving focus on continually refining the formula has resulted in a compelling experience for various skill levels. Are you going to be picking up WRC Generations? And are you sad that KT's reign is finally coming to an end when it comes to the official WRC games? Let us know in the comments below. Subscribe to the Traxion channel for more racing content like this, and hit that notification bell to catch our latest videos as they're released. Until next time, thank you for watching, keep it pinned, and have a great day.